Hey everyone, I'm here with the first of hopefully many of what I'm calling Molecule of the Week videos. So these are absolutely not required. They're hopefully just a fun video that sort of gives you a sense of what we're doing with some of the stuff we're learning this semester. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in to one of my favorite molecules. No, not hydrogen. What's in the cup? I'm going to need some to get through today. All right, caffeine. So everybody's favorite molecule, caffeine, up here in the upper right-hand corner. Full disclosure, I got some of the pictures and some of the other information today from Wikipedia. So it's actually a pretty good read. There's a lot of good information there. So pop over if you get a chance and read the page. It's actually quite long. And the great thing is they have these really wonderful citations at the bottom. So you can read the original information, where they got the information from. So it's really fantastic. All right, so without further ado, you may have some burning questions about caffeine, and one of those of mine is, why do plants have caffeine in them? Why are there all these different plants like coffee beans and chocolate and everything that has caffeine in it? Where does this come from? So most likely, scientists think this is a defense mechanism against pests and against encroachment from other plants early in the plant's lifetime. There actually is caffeine, the plants excrete caffeine into the soil around themselves early on in their life cycle. And it's thought that that helps keep down competition for that stretch of ground. And then as they grow, they can have huge amounts of caffeine in them, like tea leaves, for example, in that picture on the right, can have as like 3 or 4% caffeine by weight inside that tea leaf. So that's a huge amount of caffeine. And so it's thought that pests don't like to bite in and get dosed with this caffeine drug. So that's why plants themselves have them. Of course, the next question, oh, and there's some additional reading on that. There's a really cool journal article here in the journal Science that you can read, and I'll go ahead and post links to this article in the comments or in the information of this video below. And if you don't want to dive into an actual journal article, there's a New York Times article here that's written for the general public. So I'll have links for both those in the description videos if you want to go do some additional reading on that. So why do we drink it then? Why? The plants have it. It's clearly not good for the pests that are trying to get the plant, but why do we choose to drink it? So there's a simple answer to that. It makes us feel good, right? We like it. And full disclosure on these pictures, these are just whatever PowerPoint suggested for me with the Creative Commons license. So I did not go out of my way. I just found a funny picture when I searched. That lady looks like she's having a bit too much fun with that cup of coffee. But yeah, coffee makes us feel good. Caffeine in tea, coffee, whatever we're drinking it in. So we drink lots of it. It's actually a central nervous system stimulant that is the world's most widely consumed psychoactive drug. So this is pretty much all around the world. Humans love this stuff. But why is that? Why does it make us feel good? What chemically is going on? Well, that takes a little bit of an explanation here. So it starts with this molecule, adenosine. Adenosine causes or is part of causing drowsiness in our body by binding to the specific receptor. So when we wake up in the morning and start to feel really good in the day, we're not really drowsy. There's not very much adenosine floating around our central nervous system, but over the course of the day, it starts to build up more and more and more, and it starts to bind to these adenosine receptors, and then that triggers the drowsiness response in our body. But if you look at the caffeine molecule, the caffeine molecule looks a lot like that part of the adenosine molecule. And so because of its similar structure to that part of the adenosine molecule, it can actually bind to some of those same receptors and block adenosine binding to those receptors, which then doesn't cause the drowsiness response. So in our central nervous system, in our brain, caffeine is sort of blocking the body's natural buildup of adenosine, which triggers the drowsiness response. And in that way, it's blocking our body's drowsiness response. So that's why it works. It's all about that molecular structure that then causes that particular feeling to happen in our bodies. So that's pretty much it. all about that caffeine molecule and the little squirrel with its coffee cup that I love. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned later for hopefully my next favorite, everybody's next favorite molecule, alcohol.